So there are moments that I think, oh, why couldn't I speak to people? I watched an energy whom I chose to admire their innate creativity over my own just because I had them body paint me once. And they stated, do you know how exhausting it is to make these videos? You're choosing to be a content creator. That's your choice, which is the same as a job. So I get why they said it's exhausting because, But me being able to do things that only I can imagine that no other external infinite being is capable of doing because it's my ideas from my deoxyribonucleic acid is the opposite of tiring. To drain someone mentally or physically, to tire out. That's what a job does. That's what working for pennies on a dollar for people who do not care about any facets of themselves and me continuing to chase some dream that was given. That shift is exhausting to me, and that's why I quit doing it. And this is why I'm grateful that I don't have to exchange energy with infinite beings who choose to speak shift about every facet of them. I've had people who I worked for calling the clientele that's helping them make extra money that could set them free Neanderthals, when that's what they felt about themselves. I've had infinite beings who told me that I have not been, in that title, of an international art model, when I definitely have, because you choose to speak shift about your facets. And so I'm grateful that I don't have to exchange these non-reciprocal energy exchanges with infinite beings who choose to speak shift about every facet of their multifacetedness and every facet of their multifaceted one and infinity infinite being. Because internal manifests externally. So since I stopped harming every facet of me, I don't have to exchange energy with people like him or them, and I'm just grateful. And I saw this other baby who helped me really shift. They were like, you get 5 to 10 business minutes because if we're not creating something, and it was just like, yeah, I'm grateful you create those narratives with you. And yet that's not kind because you claim in people as if they're possessions. Those aren't your people if that's how you're seeing them. You're seeing them as something that's unworthy, that only takes a few minutes. And if we're not exchanging energy with something if you're not making me money, you ain't worth shift is what you're telling them. And that's how you feel about you. And I'm grateful that you removed yourself with your free will from my existence. Yeah, just sometimes, I want folks to talk to. Do I really want? A friend is a mutual bond of affection. And if you speak and shift about every facet of you, you ain't got a mutual bond of affection for me. So, thank you for removing yourself. May every energy that is not reciprocal keep removing themselves. I am the one mutual bond of affection and friend that I have. And I'm the one innate family member that I have. And the energy always wants to say it's not always going to be like that. And yet how you choose to speak to you, how you choose to consume, I'm not going to just put up with stuff just because, yeah. Just because I want to talk to you, just because I want a friend, I'm not going to put up with you poisoning your body and your being just because that's what you want to do. Because you will have an issue with me not wanting to do the same. Because we want energies that resonate with us. We have social media like this, like that. And by definition, it does not mean that you prefer anything. Like, there's 6, 7, or 8 different definitions in the word like. And none of them mean that you prefer this certain thing over another in any facet. And one of them means a meaningless filler word that you're uncertain of what you just stated in the first place. And that's why you chose to say like. You ain't gonna cognitive dissonance me. I no longer cognitive dissonance me. I done tie-dyed these pants in some kind of way. Probably because I put them in the bucket and washed them with soda ash on an accident. I will be able to wash clothes shortly. And it's so funny. I'm staying on somebody's land who has a washer and dryer, and it'd be real simple to be like, can I wash? but they don't have a mutual bond of affection for me. And so I hand wash my clothes, and it would be easier with a washboard, but I make do. I got a portable plunger washer thing that I got when I first moved out here. So I keep making away. But if I need a ride, instead of taking, oh my gosh, it took me from 9 a.m. to almost 2 a.m. to ride my bike on a 40-minute drive in a car. And we'll say an hour both ways with a little traffic. I was just like, shift me. But I needed to experience that, so at least I can ask that person to cut that day into a couple hour drive. And I guess that's the reciprocal exchange of energy there, along with my free water, electric, and Wi-Fi that I don't have to pay for. And they were like, just remember that. I know that it isn't very kind to not be able to wash clothes, but at least those other things are provided. They also provided to a parolee. And there's nothing about that, it's just we won't exchange energy with a certain family member, and then we put in another family member, and so on the 10th I will ask him to give me the hard drive that he stated he would give me, so I could look for the 11 different photo shoots that were missing off the hard drive. And so that was about 2 strongs ago. I was like, yeah, but with what we choose to do. And so I'll ask him on the 10th when I ask him for the rides, so I can go get some food. And I'm tie-dyeing birthing some creations to help me finish my headscarf. Because I'm always wearing these hoods, and these hoods, I didn't make them, so they don't have satin or something inside. And my hair's been breaking off and growing at the same time, because I make sure to keep it in protective styles. And I'm happy that I know how to braid my hair without harming any facet of me now. And so I just keep taking steps to do greater things for me, for my lineage. I am going on 2 seasons, and I will start birthing my own other things. I don't even want to call it what people call it, because my creations have nothing to do with anyone else. And they're nothing like anyone else's creations in any facet. And so I do not want to put myself in categories where I'm a one in infinity infinite being. I'm not in a category with any infinite being. I know innately that I am eternally irreplaceable, because my deoxyribonucleic acid is 1 in infinity. With all the matter of what people project from their internal spaces externally onto me. I choose kindness to every facet of me, and I know internal manifests externally, and I know how I choose to speak to and about my facets and experiences creates matter, even when I'm having some tumultuous experiences with these energies. There's not one human in existence, or infinite being as I call everyone, because that's what I call myself, that has the nerve to look me in the eye and call me a female dog, fox, goat, or otter. And yet these energies be talking mad shift on certain moments because they feel some type of way about themselves, and it's not okay with me. And so I imagine that I get to use my magic, and I've had to experience save this baby's life at one point when we were young. They were standing up for a girl in their family who chose to exchange energy with some disrespectful men, because that's what the perpetuation taught them to do. And he went and beat the boy's butt, And then his family members, after a fair and square one-on-one fight, decided to stomp his face in. And he came back to my house, and I took him to the hospital. And now I've seen somebody get their mouth wired shut. And so I just imagine that I've made a beautiful unicorn. And when these energies choose to call me out my name, that I won't allow any person in this world to do. Because for one, I no longer do it. I don't even sing along to songs that speaking about dehumanization. The N-word, brown or not, because we see it. I have black pants on. My skin has never matched it. Whatever. That word was made to dehumanize. And now you get upset when somebody else calls it, and then every other word is the N-word, and you're dehumanizing yourself. So how could you ever get upset that someone else is calling you it? And so that's the same thing. You're not going to dehumanize me just because that's what's been done, and that's what you choose to do to yourself. So I imagine my beautiful unicorn with a hoof popping them in the mouth. And then I also, at that point, because I warned them to stop talking shit about me on my frequencies where I can hear, and they refuse to listen. And so I show them exactly what happens, and I pull them to a healed space. And it takes some moments, but I help heal what I've done because, well, you're not going to talk to me like that. So I just keep imagining more. Keep imagining spaces where I have everything that I need required to me, which simply is food, water, and shelter, and every resource for everything that I want to create eternally. Never having to eat food with poison in it or use water with poison in it. I help. I know a being who loves those dino chicken nuggets from Walmart. Well, chickens don't have lead in them, so why is there lead in the chicken nuggets? Hey. The food stamp program has been around for centuries, and now they're just wanting to take away centuries. Apologies. A long time. I've looked up the amount, and now they're just wanting to take away soda pop and And when they first did that, I couldn't even buy my 100% pomegranate juice, which 100%, they still grow it with chemicals and pesticides. So while it has no extra sugar, tart AF, I wasn't able to buy pomegranate juice. It hurt my feelings, but that's all right, because I will grow my own pomegranates. I will grow my own fruits and vegetables. And so I imagine food forests and building of my homes, and I will build my own homes in this life, even if it takes me a moment to do exactly what I know I can. I'm going to do it. I imagine more as a one in infinity, infinite being. Besides my name being one in infinity, my deoxyribonucleic acid, my soul essence is one in infinity. I'm not seeking to be a carbon copy or live how any external energy does. Because the dis-ease and perpetuation that other infinite beings choose, I don't want. They got the beautiful stallion girl, and you're choosing. You got free will, so you can blame and blah, 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 blah. This baby was talking about doing dill pickle hot Cheeto and Sheasel me and getting all this stuff sprayed on him and doing these photo shoots for these corporations, and then the exact same day she gets put in the hospital. And our cognitive dissonance can be so real, and these folks are so happy, and yet if you're so happy, you know. But then also the music. I am not a savage. I am not ratchet. I am not nasty. I am not acting stupid. And that ain't what's happening. No, it's not. So I just make sure that I create space, speak to me kindly. And that's another part of my birth creations, because I'm a one in infinity and infinite being. I've sang along to a whole bunch of stuff. When I was on season 6, that Meredith Brooks song, that she's a bitch. She's a female dog, fox, goat, otter. And I wouldn't even, the thing is, and my main thing has always been, you have a female dog, even when that dog chews up your shoe, you call her by her name, etc. You never call that dog out its name. So why are you calling you, your friends, etc. things? And then I got to experience this infinite being, that was their favorite word. They love that person and all that music. And I stated, Randy, I don't care for it to be called that word. Could you not call me that? And this infinite being who uses it on a daily was able to say, yeah, I can stop calling you that. And it took them a second. But every time they stopped calling me out my name, because they'd be like, B, because so there ain't no excuse. I had someone call me a psycho, and that means cruel and aggressive and a couple other words. And all they were doing was talking about themselves, because I wasn't cruel or aggressive. And I thank these people for removing themselves from my existence. These non-reciprocal energy exchanges show me how to create eternally more in my existence. The dogmas and bully abuse narratives stopped with me. And if you can't talk to yourself kindly, including what you're reposting, the sounds you're using, etc., because they're not just sounds, they're not just reposts. You agree with that frequency. You resonate when you're a one in infinity, infinite being. And be feeding stuff to our children and then calling them fat and blah blah blah, and it doesn't make any sense to me, and that's why I am who I am. And thank you for being who you being, because I get to imagine more. Practice stretching and getting my splits, because I'm the only infinite being that can. Oh shit, that's a big one. She was waiting too. Hoo-wee. Big old tick. Big old tick. They've been babies this whole time, but that was a huge one. Sheesh. Sheesh. Sheesh.